Tourists in South Africa got more than they bargained for when an elephant attacked their safari truck, nearly flipping it over.
An African safari trip is supposed to be a wonderful thing, but getting that close to a wild animal can obviously backfire most terrifyingly.
Oh, God!
From hyena attacks to charging rhinos. From clever lions opening car doors to massive elephants flipping entire trucks. Here are 20 times African safari trips went horribly wrong, and some of these stories will shock you to your core. In early September 2025, at the camping site at Cape Vidal campsite within the Isamangaliso Wetland Park, a 27-year-old man named Nicholas Holes was asleep in his tent after a social gathering when two hyenas forcibly entered his tent through a small gap left at the top. He was attacked. One hyena grabbed his leg and tried to pull him out, and the other attacked his face and head. Though he survived the ordeal, he sustained severe injuries. The campsite management and wildlife authorities acknowledged the incident and launched measures to capture and relocate the suspected hyenas that had become habituated to the campgrounds. Next, see what happened when a leopard decided to attack a guide. In 2015, a shocking incident in South Africa's Kruger National Park left safari tourists horrified when a leopard suddenly attacked their guide during a routine game drive. The group had stopped their open safari vehicle, only a few meters from the big cat, to observe it resting nearby when the leopard suddenly disappeared from view and then leapt onto the vehicle, latching onto the guide's arm. The terrified tourist tried to fend off the animal by hitting it and shouting, while another vehicle rushed to the scene to help. Then the park rangers arrived, and the shot echoes across the savannah, striking the leopard and forcing it to release its hold. The tour guide survived, although he suffered multiple injuries. The attack shocked many people because such close encounters are typically considered safe under professional supervision, highlighting the unpredictable nature of wild predators and the reality that even in guided safari settings, animals can behave aggressively when startled or provoked. That leopard encounter was shocking, but what happens when a massive armor-plated beast weighing over 2 tons decides your car is the enemy? The next story will make your heart race. In April 2024, visitors on a safari drive in South Africa's Kruger National Park experienced a heart-stopping moment when a white rhino bull suddenly charged their vehicle, chasing it for over a kilometer along muddy, uneven terrain. According to Getaway magazine, the professional safari guide, who described it as one of his top 5 most dangerous encounters, was forced to accelerate in reverse while maintaining control on slippery roads to keep passengers safe. Witnesses reported that the enormous rhino kept up the pursuit for an unexpectedly long distance before eventually losing interest and stopping. Wildlife experts later explained that while white rhinos are generally considered less aggressive than their black counterparts, males can become highly territorial or defensive if startled or if they perceive a vehicle as a rival. The event served as a sobering reminder that safari tourists are guests in the animal's natural habitat, and that even seemingly calm species can behave unpredictably when provoked or surprised. At West Midlands Safari and Leisure Park in Worcestershire, England, a couple on a drive-through safari experienced a startling encounter. A giraffe poked its head through their car window and then smashed the windscreen. According to a report by Newsweek, the giraffe, drawn by food offered by the visitors, thrust its horns against the glass, cracking it. The park's own signage warns that do not allow animals to put their head inside your vehicle, keep your windows half shut or shut completely, and clarifies that damage to vehicles by animals is not the responsibility of the park. In the incident, although no person was hurt, the vehicle's window was severely damaged, and the unexpected nature of the giraffe's action left many surprised about how quickly a benign-looking safari moment could go wrong. The next moment took things to a whole new level. What would you do if a lion suddenly reached out and opened your car door with its teeth? Don't forget to hit the bell, share it with your friends, and subscribe if you haven't already. It really helps me out, and I promise to bring you more awesome content. During a South African safari, tourists were left stunned when a lioness managed to open a car door with her mouth, an incident that quickly went viral online. The event, captured on video at a wildlife park near Johannesburg, showed the lioness curiously approaching a stopped vehicle before gripping the door handle with her teeth and pulling it open, causing the startled passengers to scream before quickly slamming it shut. The tourists had forgotten to lock their doors while observing a pride of lions up close, and guides later explained that some lions in such parks become habituated to vehicles and lose their natural fear of humans. While no one was injured, the incident shocked many viewers because it challenged the common belief that sitting inside a closed vehicle offers complete safety from predators. During a safari in Tanzania's Serengeti National Park, tourists were left shocked when a cheetah suddenly leapt into their safari vehicle, an encounter that was captured on video and quickly went viral. The group had been observing a family of cheetahs when one of the animals climbed onto the hood of their SUV, while another unexpectedly jumped into the back seat, just inches away from one of the passengers. The guide quickly instructed everyone to remain perfectly still and avoid eye contact, warning that any sudden movement could provoke the predator. For nearly 10 tense minutes, the tourists sat frozen as the curious cheetah sniffed around before calmly leaping out of the vehicle and rejoining its companions. No one was injured, but the incident astonished many viewers around the world because it defied expectations of safety, proving that even a seemingly calm safari experience can turn unpredictable when wild animals act on their curiosity. During a morning game drive on March 18, 2024, in Pilanesberg National Park, a large bull elephant suddenly charged a 22-seat open safari truck full of tourists when they came too close while trying to photograph it. The footage shows the elephant lifting the front of the truck with its tusks and dropping it repeatedly, while terrified passengers ducked between seats and the guide frantically slapped the door and shouted, "Go away," in an effort to drive the animal off. According to the tour company's field operations manager, the elephant was likely in a state of must, meaning a heightened hormonal phase in male elephants associated with extreme aggression, and had become provoked when the vehicle blocked its path and got too close for photos. Fortunately, no injuries were reported, though one family involved was offered counseling afterwards for trauma. In March 2016, newlyweds Gemma Cosgriff and Damien Cosgriff were trekking in Volcanoes National Park in Rwanda when a dominant silverback gorilla from the nearby family group suddenly charged toward them. The guide had allowed the couple and the group of trackers to observe the gorillas for about 40 minutes before the gorilla began beating its chest and briskly advanced toward Gemma, pushing her to the ground with one hand. The couple said Gemma was not injured and that rather than reacting in panic, they remained calm as the animal continued on its way after the incident. What surprised many people about this encounter was that it occurred during a guided trekking safari, an experience often viewed as controlled and low risk, yet the wild gorilla initiated physical contact. It highlights how even habituated animals, when startled or if their personal space is invaded, may respond aggressively. Would you have been able to stay calm if a massive silverback gorilla suddenly charged straight at you? Yes or no? Please comment number 1 if you think yes. Like me? In August 2025, tourists on safari in Kenya's Masai Mara National Reserve witnessed a shocking moment when a Cape buffalo suddenly charged and rammed into a safari vehicle. The animal appeared agitated after being surrounded by several vehicles that had stopped too close while tourists were taking photos. The animal charged and attacked one of the cars when it found itself boxed in by both vehicles and possibly lions nearby. The impact startled everyone inside, though no injuries were reported. Rangers later explained that buffalo are known for their unpredictable temper and powerful build, and when they feel cornered or stressed, especially near predators, they can become extremely aggressive. The incident served as a reminder that even herbivores, often viewed as harmless compared to lions or elephants, can be dangerous if humans get too close or block their escape routes. On April 15, 2025, a visitor named Aaron Hafiz was driving through section at Knowsley Safari Park in Prescott, England, when one of the baboons climbed onto his car, began tugging at the window wiper, and eventually snapped it clean in half. In another viral clip from 2022, a father's Porsche was targeted by baboons. They climbed over the mirror, bit it, and then pulled and twisted the rear windscreen wiper. Visitors to the baboon jungle zone of the park report common car damage such as pulled-off wipers, removed wing mirrors or antennas, especially for vehicles that drive through without closed windows or roof racks removed. in central India's jungle safari region near Naya Raipur. A tour bus full of tourists experienced a terrifying encounter when a wild tiger suddenly charged after their vehicle. The incident occurred on February 14th on a forest road. The tiger grabbed a piece of plastic hanging from the rear door of the bus, held on for several minutes, then unexpectedly pursued the bus for about 200 meters while the terrified passengers inside screamed. The vehicle survived without serious passenger injuries, but the event alarmed both safari operators and guests. Wildlife officials later terminated 3 employees of the safari for lapses in judgment related to the situation. Wildlife experts note that tigers may mock charge vehicles when they feel threatened, surprised, or deprived of their normal escape routes. As reported by The Independent in April 2023, in one safari in the Jim Corbett Tiger Reserve, a tiger lunged toward a jeep after the vehicle came too close, interpreted by some specialists as a warning rather than a full attack. In early 2024, a group of German tourists at Kruger National Park, South Africa's largest wildlife reserve, were delighted to see a herd of elephants crossing the road. The calm moment quickly changed when 2 bull elephants, separated from the group, began acting aggressively toward each other. The tourists expected a fight between the bulls, but one suddenly turned its attention to their car and charged. Within seconds, the 6-ton animal reached the vehicle and struck the rear window with its tusk. The glass shattered, but no one was injured. Though shaken, the group later joked about losing their rental deposit, grateful to have escaped unharmed. Would you have stayed to watch the elephants that close, knowing one could suddenly charge your car? Let's discuss in the comments section. What started as a relaxing day at the park took a sudden turn when a mother and her young child came across a camel. At first, the moment seemed harmless and even funny as the camel gently licked the child's head, making the toddler laugh. The mother joined in, thinking it was a sweet and innocent interaction between her child and the animal. But the situation quickly shifted when the camel turned its attention to the mother. Without any warning, it lunged forward and bit her. The woman's laughter instantly changed to a cry of pain and shock as she pulled away. Camels are often seen as gentle animals, but they can act unpredictably and sometimes aggressively. With their powerful jaws and large teeth, they can cause real injuries if they feel threatened or irritated. In this case, the camel may have misread the situation or simply become upset, but the attack showed just how unpredictable animals can be. Fortunately, the woman was not seriously hurt, though the experience left her and those nearby shaken, reminding everyone to stay cautious around even calm-looking creatures. On the Nile River in Uganda's Murchison Falls National Park, a group of tourists faced danger when a Nile crocodile suddenly charged their small boat. They had been enjoying a quiet ride, admiring the scenery and wildlife, when the massive reptile appeared and began closing in fast. Realizing the threat, they tried to paddle away, but the crocodile was gaining quickly. The guide reacted fast, using a paddle to push the crocodile back. It backed off briefly, then returned several times, each charge more aggressive than the last. The terrified tourists held on tightly, as the guide stayed calm and struck the water to drive it away. After a few tense minutes, they managed to escape and reach safety. Nile crocodiles are among the world's largest reptiles, growing over 20 feet long and weighing more than 1,600 pounds. With powerful jaws and the ability to move through water at up to 20 miles per hour, they are formidable predators. Although they usually avoid humans, they can turn violent when defending territory or mistaking boats for prey. Thanks to the guide's quick thinking, everyone survived unharmed. In 2014, a British tourist had a terrifying experience during a walking safari in Botswana after being attacked by a puff adder. This snake is highly venomous and is found widely across sub-Saharan Africa. The bite happened in one of Botswana's well-known wildlife reserves, where travelers often walk to explore nature more closely. Puff adders are considered among the most dangerous snakes in Africa because of their excellent camouflage and their habit of staying still instead of escaping. Unlike other snakes that move away when disturbed, puff adders often remain motionless, blending perfectly into their surroundings. This makes it easy for people to accidentally step on them. Their bite delivers a strong cytotoxic venom that causes severe pain, swelling, and tissue damage around the wound. Without quick medical treatment, a puff adder bite can lead to permanent injury or even death. In this case, the tourist needed fast medical help, showing how important it is to act quickly after a snake bite. Fortunately, the safari guides responded immediately and made sure the victim reached medical care in time. What started as a light-hearted moment for a woman at a drive-through safari park quickly turned into panic when she rolled down her car window to feed a group of ostriches. At first, the tall birds seemed calm, and she held out some food, expecting a harmless encounter. But within seconds, the situation spiraled out of control. The ostriches lunged at the feed, pecking rapidly at her hand and brushing against her arm. Focused only on the food, they ignored her startled reactions. Her laughter vanished as the birds crowded the open window, jabbing with their strong beaks to grab every bit of food. Frightened, the woman leaned back and tried to roll up the window. Her nervous laughter turned to panic as the ostriches kept pecking. She quickly started the car, afraid they would continue. What began as a fun experience became a harsh reminder that even seemingly harmless animals can act aggressively when food is involved. Fortunately, she escaped unharmed. In 2018, a tourist in a safari vehicle in the Okavango Delta region of Botswana had a close-up encounter with a young wild leopard. While the group was observing wildlife from their vehicle, the leopard approached, climbed part of the vehicle, and began pawing and biting at the tourist's shoe. The leopard's behavior, jumping into the vehicle's space and interacting directly with the tourist's foot, was unexpected and risky. According to wildlife experts, this kind of behavior by a leopard signals a serious safety breach. When big cats become comfortable with vehicles or humans, there is a risk of escalation. Although no major injuries were reported in this case, the tourist did suffer a small wound from the clawing and was very fortunate. The incident prompted commentary from big cat specialists, who warned that repeated close contact between vehicles and leopards can lead to dangerous behaviors and ultimately to situations where the animal may be destroyed for safety. On Lake Naivasha, as visitors enjoyed the calm beauty of one of Kenya's most popular lakes, taking photos to remember the moment, suddenly, the peaceful scene turned to chaos when a hippopotamus burst from the water and overturned their boat. This was not a movie scene but a real encounter with one of Africa's most dangerous animals. Though hippos may appear calm and friendly with their round bodies and wide mouths, they are highly aggressive and fiercely territorial. The trip had begun normally, with families laughing and admiring the wildlife. Then, without warning, the boat shook violently as the hippo surged upward, using its massive strength to flip it over. Passengers were thrown into the water amid screams and splashes, and the quiet lake became a scene of panic. Several people were injured, from bruises to broken bones. In the chaos, the quick actions of local guides and nearby boats prevented tragedy. They pulled passengers to safety and ensured everyone reached shore. Many underestimate hippos, but they are responsible for hundreds of human deaths across Africa each year. During a visit to Gone Wild Safari Park in Pineville, Louisiana, near Alexandria, a man experienced a much closer interaction with wildlife than he ever imagined, and it turned out to be hilarious. He and his friend were driving through the park when they reached the camel area. The curious animals stretched their long necks through the car windows, trying to grab the feed cups the two were holding. One very persistent camel pushed its head so far inside that the man panicked and jumped into the back seat. The camels didn't stop there and kept following the car, sticking their heads inside every chance they got. The funny and chaotic moment left both friends laughing, creating a memory they would talk about for years to come. These 20 terrifying encounters serve as stark reminders that African wildlife, while magnificent and awe-inspiring, demands absolute respect and caution from human visitors. The next time you're planning an African safari adventure, remember these stories and the lessons they teach. Respect the wildlife, follow the rules, and never forget that you're entering a world where humans are not at the top of the food chain. Thanks for watching this compilation of safari encounters gone wrong. If you found these stories as fascinating and terrifying as I did, make sure to subscribe for more incredible wildlife content. Have you ever had a close encounter with dangerous wildlife during your travels? Share your experiences in the comments below and let me know what other wildlife topics you'd like me to cover in future videos. Until next time, stay safe out there in the wild world.
Thanks for being with us. Leave a comment, like to show your support, and remember to hit that subscribe button for more exciting videos. See you next time.